Hey everybody, it's Brian back again, and today I'm going to be repotting one of my Pindo palms, also called a jelly palm. We're going to move it from a smaller pot that it's in to a larger, more permanent pot. Now, I keep this plant in a pot because my yard actually isn't all that big, and as you can see from the video, I have a lot of concrete, especially in the backyard. So adding a bunch of pots has allowed me to continue to add plants to the yard without having to dig up what's already there. So to start off on this project, most of these resin pots do not come with drain holes. So I'm going to drill a few holes with a 1/4 inch drill bit just so excess water has a place to go. Once that's done, I'm crushing up some aluminum cans to put in the bottom of the pot. I do this instead of using rocks because, first of all, I don't keep extra rocks around my yard and I don't want to have to buy rocks when I have cans that work just as well. Cans also make the pot lighter. In case I do want to move this around, it's going to be a little bit lighter because I have cans at the bottom, aluminum, not rocks. So once that's done, I'm going to start layering in soil and perlite and mix the layers as I go. I'm shooting for 30 to 40% perlite in all my pots. It helps with root health, good drainage, good aeration. Also, again, it makes it lighter. So having a bunch of perlite in this pot instead of soil is going to make the pot lighter in case I need to move this. Now, as I'm putting soil in, I have to remind myself I'm going to put a plant in here with a big root ball. So I don't want to go to the top. I'm going to stop where I think the right level is so that where the trunk of the tree starts is going to be at the right spot. So at this point, I'm ready to get the Pindo Palm out of its existing pot. This can be a little bit challenging because you're trying to be firm, but you're also trying to be gentle at the same time. You got to use some level of force to get the plant out, but you also want to try and preserve as much of the root structure as possible. I'm using a combination of squeezing the pot because it's resin, digging and pulling to get the plant out. You want to be really careful if you're pulling on the plant itself, just because you can pull the plant apart and pull off fronds or separate the trunk from the roots. So be really careful. Make sure you know what you're doing if you're pulling hard on the plant. I had forgotten this pot has a plastic riser in the bottom of it, and the roots have completely wrapped themselves around. So I had to spend some extra time separating the roots from that plastic riser to get that riser out. But eventually I was able to separate the two with minimal damage. Now, anytime you do this, you're going to have some removal of roots, but you do want to try and minimize damage that you do to the roots. It's going to help the tree grow better and recover faster from the trauma of being moved from one pot to the next. But I don't think I've ever repotted a plant without some damage to the roots. Just try and be as careful as you can and know that some of it will happen. Once I have it out, I'm going to just separate the roots a little bit more, and now I'm going to put the tree in the new pot. And depending on how well you do when you put the initial level of dirt in, you might have to add some more dirt or take away some dirt to get the plant to the right height. Be sure to center it on all sides unless you are purposely leaving it off-centered. And once you have the tree positioned where you want it, go ahead and fill the sides up with dirt up to the top. Once you're done filling up the dirt, go ahead and give it some water and clean up your area. Now, in this case, it's supposed to start raining in a few hours, so I'm actually not going to water it. I'm going to let Mother Nature do that for me. So at this point, I am done, and I will come back in a few days, make sure that it is happy, and clean up any remaining dirt around the ground here that hasn't washed away from the rain. And that's it. I have transferred this Pindo Palm into its new home, and it should be happy here for several years to come. And now I've got this smaller pot. I can go find something else to put in it. So you will see me again real soon. I'll be sure to continue to provide updates on this and all the other plants in my yard. And give us a like and a subscribe if you want additional tips on how to grow tropical plants indoors and outdoors in cold weather climates. Happy growing.